G'day, Aussie Bonsai bloke here, going. Just thought I'd take you for a bit of a look at the garden at the moment. A few things keep moving every day. I come out here and they've moved along a bit more, so I'll show you around a little bit. Plus I'll trim one tree up. Just going to be a bit of a short video, but I'll give you a bit of a look around. Cheers. Okay, so this juniper here, you can see is popped a lot. There's a lot of new growth on that, so give that another month and I'll have to do a video on that one. Chinese elm, I've cut that back. This is the mulberry tree. So she had a bit of a cutback. As you can see, it's starting to look pretty cool. Mulberry tree. One thing I really wanted to show you before they're finished is this is an apple tree. There's all the flowers on this apple tree at the moment. So many different flowers on it. So that's pretty cool. Some new fresh ones in here that haven't opened yet. Some more here that haven't opened. And then what will happen is you'll get the leaf after the flower. So where there was no flower buds on a section like this, now the leaf will start coming out. And there are some sections where it is starting to bud back a bit closer in the trunk. And there's some here. So hopefully it'll get some more division, because at the moment it is a bit long and leggy, but we'll see how it goes. Otherwise I'll have to cut it back pretty hard. Mariah's still looking very sad, probably going to die. Another thing that's really popped along lately is this hawthorn. It's getting hard to get in there, but it's really greened up, got a nice big bushy canopy, so I'll have to do a video on that soon. Also, it's got all its flowers have popped out. It's got a lot less flowers on this year because they got eaten by the earwigs, but that's alright. Give it more, give it a chance to put more energy into growing some new green fine twigging. So I might be able to cut it back a few more times. There are some nice flowers on there. Last year the whole thing was just a big ball of flowers, so it looked pretty cool. And the red gum here, looking alright. Another thing here that's moved along pretty nicely is this Wisteria. It's even got some flowers hanging down. Most of the flowers are finished now, but there's still some flowers hanging down. But the biggest thing is a massive amount of green foliage on this thing now. So that's growing nicely. Another thing I wanted to show you is these buds on this bottle brush. Really starting to fatten up. Thinking about just really close to popping. Here's one that has just started popping. So that's the bottle brush. So that's going to be pretty cool soon. Apart from that, not much to show. This is the one that fell out of its pot. It's in its new pot now. I'll just show you this. This is the thread graft I did. And you can see it's grown pretty well out here, so it's fattening up in there. So hopefully this takes this year. I'll probably let it grow all year, then maybe cut it off next spring, see how it goes. Yeah, apart from that, I don't even know. That's the daughter's plant, just a succulent. It's got beautiful orange flowers on it. Yeah, that's about it. Not much else to show you, I don't think. Oh, here's another hawthorn that's going nuts. Me mandarin, you idiot Sam. Me mango is starting to shove out some new leaf, so that's good. This bud's going on this tip, so that's good. The old mango. And also this callistemon, which is going to go in that nice red pot that I showed you last time. It's growing alright. Yeah, some really nice green tips on this olive. On my big olive. So I'll probably let that grow for another month or so and have to cut it back. Oh, also this forest where there wasn't a lot of green on it yet. Every one of these trunks have taken, even though I did, as you'll see if you look back on the forest video where I made this forest, you'll see how brutal I was on the roots, and well, lo and behold, she's powered along. A few of them sort of got a bit deadish at the start, but now they're powering along fine. I reckon there's not going to be one trunk lost in there, even the little baby down here. There's a little baby in there. Even that one's starting to power along, so that's good. Yeah, so that's about it. What else was there? There was it's an oak here that's struggling along. Big English oak that I dug up. Some of the leaves keep dying off like these ones here, but I think overall it'll be alright. There's still some nice green on it. Alright, cheers for watching. I'll get to trimming that plant. That's about enough for the tour. Oh, well, while I'm down here I'll just have a bit of a look at some of these. Can't help myself. So this is a Chinese elm, dug up. As you can see, it's getting all new shoots everywhere on it. And at the top of the trunk is amazing. It's just big, bushy. A lot of stuff on that. New shoots on the kumquat tree that I repotted. All new fresh shoots all over it. That was from an air layer. Another Chinese elm that I dug up. It's got huge amount of growth on it. Yeah, there's not much else to show you. Not really. Plum. That's got a lot of growth on it from when it got dug up. Looks like we got some stuff falling over on the side there. We had some windy days. What about this olive? Olive's got nice new growth on it. I will cut those branches back soon. Oh, here's another thing I was going to show you. I'm going to make some tea trees into bonsais, but at the moment the tea trees don't have very good bases. I'll just get one out. They don't have very good bases or very thick. So I'm thinking what I'll do. Got beautiful flowers. What I'll do is I'm going to put them in bigger pots and just grow them up for a while. Also got this one here, it's called a lipstick. I'll just show you why. She's got these beautiful, really bright like lipstick flowers, absolutely beautiful. So that's pretty cool. You can imagine that, the tree just full of those flowers. It's gonna look bloody awesome. Okay, that's about it. It's an olive that I'm going to work on soon. I'm going to do some carving on, some thinning out. That's about it. Well, that's it. Got an avocado here. It got eaten by some creepy crawlies. The little buggers ate the thing. And me blueberries here. Looks like I've got a few blueberries. Hopefully I get a bit of a harvest. No worries. Well, I'll get into trimming that tree up for you. Cheers. G'day. Welcome back. Well, I was going to do a long video today, and I was going to do some carving and stuff on an olive that I got, but I'm going to have to save that for another time because, well, the kids wanted to go out in the tinny, and, well, you know what happens, the little buggers get what they want, so we went out in the tinny. It was a nice day, so that's good. They had fun. Might show you a little bit of footage out in the tinny. Alright, so instead of doing the big carb video I was going to do on the old olive, now we're going to be doing a just a bit of a trim on me silver birch here. It's about time I had a trim anyway, so I'll just do that for the video today. Plus you've probably already seen, if the video goes to plan, you've already seen a bit of a walk around. No worries, cheers, and I'll get into this. So basically, as I've said before, any long shoots I'll be cutting back to, see there's 2, 4, 6, 7 shoots there. I'll be cutting them back to either 1 or, depending on the length of the internode, if the internode gets too long, or if it's short enough, sorry, I'll cut it back to 2. So you get 2 divisions, but if it's long like this one, it'll probably only go back to one length, and then I'll have to reshoot again, because otherwise you've got too many long straight bits, and we're trying to make, we're trying to create branching and ramification. We don't want long straight boring bits. So although it looks like in here, you can't see it from where you are, looks like in here there is actually fairly short internodes. I'll try and give you a close-up of that. Okay, so I've got the camera in my hand now, and I'll just try and show you up here. You can see, if the camera focuses, it's been a bit weird lately. Anyway, there we go. You can sort of see there's 2 real close sections here, and also there's 3 nodes there in just a very short space. So I'll come in and cut it there to, well, you can't really call that one a node, although it is technically the first and the second one. And I've done the same with this one, and the other one is just a bit of a stub, so I'll remove that, and I'll be doing that around the whole tree. There's also, let's hope the dog didn't find another snake. Dog was yelping there in the bush. Don't really need that again, do we? Alright, I don't think so. I think they just got a prickle or something. So same here. You'll see there's this short little one here in the way, and that's no good to us, so we want to get rid of that one. Also want to chop it back to 2 there. And you got a little branch on the inside here. That one you want gone. And chop it back to 2 here. And 2 out there. This first is a stub. And chop that one back to 2. So now what you're left with, this damn camera can focus, it's been a pain lately, I don't know. Might have to delete some stuff off it, slowing it down. Okay, so if you can see from the side angle there, you divide to 2. Come on, camera. You divide there to 2. Then you've got another 2 division here. That one was cut off. And then you can see it divides there. It'll, you bloody piece of crap. It'll divide again out here. So you end up 2 there. You'll have 2 there and 2 out there. So by the time all of those shoot, you can imagine you're going to have 8 to 10 different shoots coming out of the place. Plus this branch at the back, I've got to cut that down too. So I'm going to do that around the whole thing. Sorry about the focus at the moment, the phone's playing up. Camera's playing up, so well, get that sometimes. Let's just hope it can hang in there. I don't know what its issue is, but anyway, I'll bring in as close as I can in there somewhere, and I'll just go through and trim the whole tree as quickly as I can without making a mess. Got my little rocket booster here. Might be a little bit of substance mixed in with it. We don't know. You'll have to keep that to the imagination. So I'm just cutting them back to 2. This tree, if you want a bit of background on this tree, I collected it. Well, sorry, I didn't collect it. I grew it in the ground at my old house. And probably left, I'd say I left it in the ground. I got it, sorry, I'll go right back to the start. I got it from Bunnings as a tiny little tree, probably not much bigger than that, really small. Put it in the ground for, I'm going to say I put it in the ground for 5 years. Be close to it. Not sure what I say on each video, I sort of forget from video to video, but I'm going to say close to 5 years in the ground. And then I thought, well, the trunk's fattened up enough, it's got some really nice bark on here now. It's got a nice root spread, so I thought it's probably a good time I'd dig it up. In case, you know, like, sometimes you leave them in the ground too long. Once they're starting to look good, if you leave them in the ground longer, sometimes you might get a really weird growth where one branch creates some inverse taper or something somewhere. So if the trunk's already to your thickness and it looks pretty good, no time like right then to dig it up, which is what I did with this one. So yeah, 5 years in the ground, and I'm going to say I've had it in this pot for, I reckon, nearly 3 years. The first year I just grew some branches out, as you can see. Second year I did some secondary branching, and then the main branches got fatter and fatter. This big branch here on the left there, that one actually grew in the ground, whereas this one here is all happened in the pot in the last 2 to 3 years roughly. So the whole tree itself would be around 8 years old, maybe 9, give or take. You know, it's very hard to tell. My memory is pretty shocking. So I sort of forget. I pretty well forget how many years I've had trees. Sometimes they surprise me and I haven't had them for as long as I thought, and other times it goes the other way. I think I've had them for just a couple of years and work out that it was more like 8. So memory's pretty shot. The wife will attest to that. She gets pretty annoyed with me. She tells me something and comes back 10 minutes later and I don't even know what she's talking about. That might be a bit of selective hearing, I think. Anyway, so I'm just cutting them all back to 2. Anywhere where there's 3, I'll cut the inside one out, or one that I don't think looks good as a final sign of the tree, and that will get chopped out. But it's pretty simple. There's not a lot of shoots in here. There's also some shoots on some weak branching. You might be able to just see this little weak one in here, which is wide and it's got some really weak growth, because what's happened is the rest of the other growth in the tree has shaded it out, so it's shot, but then it's just sat in there without any sun. So what this will do, this process will give it a bit of light and hopefully balance the energy up so some of these weak branches do shoot out. So I'm hoping for that as well. So you've got a few things to think about: the balance of the tree, where you want your branching, the ramification, trying to avoid knuckles, trying to avoid too many straight bits in your tree. So here I've got 3 from one location. I cut one off. Here I've got some on the inside of a crotch here. Cut them off. They can go long into node here, so I've got to cut that down harder. I'll cut that one right off. It looked pretty ugly. Just keep working through the tree. So pretty much done. Another thing I'll do is I might remove every sort of second leaf here, just to allow more light in. You can either do that or you could halve you could cut the leaf in half if you want to. You could, if you got the leaf like that, you can cut it long ways like that, and when it opens back up, it sort of looks like a leaf again. You can do that, or you can just cut every second leaf off, up to you. Just to let more light into some of those weaker branches that are struggling to grow. So I'll just keep working through the tree like that. I'm into the top of the tree now. Top of the tree, you normally want to keep the weaker branches. Get rid of the strong, because a lot of trees are apically dominant anyway, so if you can keep the weaker ones and keep them short, quite often that'll go a long way to balancing out the tree. So I'll just go to the second one there, cut that back, second one, second node, and there's fairly long and straight. I'll chop it right off. You can reshoot it, the basil bud. If you've got a really long straight one with no close internodes at all, you can chop it right back to the basil, what you call the basil bud, and it'll reshoot out some weaker growth, and then with the new weaker growth you'll be able to get some good division in that as well. It's all part of looking after your tree. So after you've done this, you'll probably think the tree looks a bit, you know, a bit dodgy, probably worse than when I started, but in the long term this will really help to increase ramification and all the twigging and all that sort of stuff with the tree. Another thing with these silver birch is they're prone to a bit of dieback, but I don't know, I haven't really had too much with this one. I don't trim it in winter, I only trim it in summer. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. And also I try to trim it fairly often. Not sure whether that's got anything to do with it or not. I'll just spin the tree around so that you can actually see something happening, otherwise I'm chopping away there without you seeing anything. Just chop away. Second node again. Another second node. I know I'll repeat myself a bit here, but sometimes a bit of repetition is the way you learn. Also the way you fall asleep. So here I've got 3, so I'm going to cut it back. Actually I'll show you this one. Show you this one up close because it's near the top of the tree. So here you can see near the top of the tree I've got 3 pretty much from the same location, 1, 2, 3. Because I'm near the top of the tree, even though this one here is a stronger one, then you got 2 weaker ones. What I'm going to do is I'm going to opt for those 2 weaker ones, because these trees are apically dominant anyway, and then chop back to second bud on the remaining 2, and then that will divide out again. And come winter I'll wire it out. I don't trim it in winter, but I do wire it in winter, because you can't wire these weak branches now, they're just too small. And by the end of summer there's that much growth on here, there's no way you can get in there to even see what you're wiring. So generally you wire in winter, trim in summer. So on a lot of deciduous trees, really, that's how I do it. Not sure how the experts do it, but that's how I do it. Trim all summer, wire in the winter. I try not to give hard prunes in the winter too much with deciduous trees. Not really sure why I do that. I just have a feeling that if you do too hard a cut in the middle of winter, what happens is there's no sap flow going through the tree, so the tree can't really heal itself properly. The only thing I do just at the end of autumn is Jap maple, because they have a lot of sap flow, so that's fine. Whereas a lot of the other deciduous trees don't have a lot of sap flow in winter, or hardly anything. So I think, my way of thinking anyway, you can sort of take what you want of it. What I'm saying, you can listen to what I'm saying or not, it's up to you. Yeah, so you can listen to what I'm saying or not, up to you. But what I think happens is you don't have the sap flow, so the tree can't heal itself, and then I think because of that you get a lot of dieback. I find it also especially true in my crepe myrtles. I used to cut my crepe myrtles back in winter, and I found that the crepe myrtles always had massive dieback. They would die back a whole top of a tree at the blink of an eye, and that was when I was trimming them in winter. Then I thought, well, if I trim them in summer, they didn't seem to be dying. So now I've stuck to trimming them only in summer. And if I've got long growth at the end of summer going into winter, I'll leave that long growth on there and cut it off after it starts to shoot, when I know there's a bit of sap flow. And I've found that greatly reduces any dieback in the tree. So who knows, it's my theory anyway. Just through experimenting. Okay, so I've got rid of a lot of leaf, a lot of shoots. There was 3 odd shoots, and hopefully created a lot more division. You see a lot of these petioles left from the leaf, but they'll drop off when the new shoots come. All right. Just show you I've got to go and cook a barbie for tea now, so I'm in a bit of a hurry for this video. Got a lot on today, so I don't know where the front was, but that's how much I cut off the tree. You can see it's a lot. I think the front of the trees, I think it's in there somewhere, about there. I think that's the front of the tree. I'll give you a bit of a spin of the tree, and that'll be the end of the video. Right, got me rock fuel going here. Not bad. Finished trimming the tree. I was mumbling on a bit there, I realised looking back, a bit of mumbling, but that's alright. Kept repeating myself. Basically, the main things to remember out of today was to let the shoots get to about 6 or 8 nodes, cut them back to 2, and also where you got 3 from any location, cut it back to 2. If it's at the top of the tree, keep the weaker 2. If it's at the bottom of the tree, keep the stronger 2, because you want the bottom of the tree to always be stronger. And apart from that, I cut every second leaf off to let a bit more light into some of the weaker branching. I also didn't cut any of the weaker branching, because if you cut the weaker branching now, it'll make it even weaker, so it'll give it hopefully a good chance to shoot out. That's basically it. That was pretty much all I needed to say through the whole video, but as you can see, I mumbled on a bit, but all good. No worries. Cheers for watching. I'll give you a spin of the tree, bit of a close-up of the old bark. No worries. Cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.